So my name is Stefani Rossi, and I'm a visual artist, and I work primarily with two-dimensional artwork, so drawing and painting, and occasionally I create sculptural work as well. And all of it is really, in my mind, an exploration of kind of human condition and narrative, so those are the things that I really go back to over and over again in different iterations. So I started this series in small paintings, very intimate scale paintings called Connect. Because I had this one night where I was really kind of lonely and not enjoying myself, and I was just like, all right, how do I get this out of me? And so I asked myself the question, how can I make drawings about what it feels like to be isolated without needing to have them be figurative, so with people in them, and then without having them look sad. So that was kind of the idea behind it. And very intimate scale, in part to try to invite people to slow down and look carefully. And so I wanted to make images that I like looking at and that I found beautiful, and that was my hope that other people would too. With this series Connect, the largest paintings were about 6 inches square, and I was working in like a 4 foot by 6 foot area of my living room that had been my studio, and so I kept the work small. So the opportunity to have work here in the Hive and time to spend at the Hive has allowed me to scale them up and see both compositionally, narratively, and with materials what I can do to push the work now that I'm working at a larger scale. So I went from 6 inches by 6 inches to 4 feet by 5 feet, and went from working with water-based media to like the gouache and the micropigment to oils and wax, just to play more with texture and experiment more with a different kind of color palette and process of developing the images. Yeah. There's a quality of interaction when creatives are working in the same space and not just looking at work after it is being presented as finished. So it's a great gift to have people in here like Chantel, Gwen, even Sean, while things are in process. Because I might be thinking about something, but Chantel sees it and she sees something totally different, and we'll just give a cold read, and all of a sudden I have a piece of data that I can like incorporate into the work. And I think that that has happened vice versa, where we give language or suggest ideas, kind of bounce possibilities around. And so that's part of the interaction here at the Hive that is so different from working at home in my own space in a much more isolated way. So I think it's kind of funny that the work that I've been making is an exploration of community interaction and isolation and how those things shift and change in an ecosystem, and my experience is going from working in isolation to working in community, and that has affected the work as well. I'm also doing work sculpturally with these small, fairly realistic ceramic faces, and they are totally different aesthetically than what I'm working on now, and truthfully my past work has been very different aesthetically. But with the clay pieces and with this series of paintings, Connect, there really is a conversation about human experience and emotion, and so I'm exploring it differently in the sculptural work, and then that tends to inform what I'm coming back to in the paintings, and what I'm doing in the paintings then gives me ideas for how to explore more in sculptural work. A few weeks ago I did a drawing that is totally representational. It was a self-portrait, and it was just like I had an impulse to do this thing, and it really did feed then back into how I was thinking about the interaction of shapes in the paintings. And so I think that one of the things that I appreciate about having this space is having the work out all at the same time. It doesn't have to be cleaned up, and I learn differently from the things that I'm making because they're all out cohabiting in the same space. It slows me down, helps me pay more attention to the world I'm in, and I'm hoping that that's what will happen for other people too.